in 2011.
Thanks for joining us, man. First off, Wii U, what do you think of that name?
Yeah, no comment.
Okay. Well, let's get some revelations about the new Assassin's Creed. Obviously, yesterday was huge for you guys at the Ubisoft press conference. We saw the Desmond Journey teaser, which was awesome. Talk a little bit about the reaction that you got from the crowd.
It was amazing. It's always a bit nerve-wracking before we have a big announcement. But yeah, when that trailer hit and people, the response was amazing. So we're really happy with the way people are enjoying everything.
We're going to be taking a look here in just a second about, I think we're looking at it right now, an extended version of what we saw yesterday, or at least expanding on what we saw. And talk a little bit about how this ended in the teaser there.
So essentially, what we're seeing here is sort of Ezio's journey. After the events of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, he's killed all of his enemies. And he finds himself sort of like looking back at his life. Ezio has always been very reactive. He got into the Assassins because his father, got killed. Then, his uncle gets killed in Brotherhood, and he's always about revenge, right? Now he's getting older, wiser, and he's wondering, what do I do with my life? He embarks on this pilgrimage to Masyaf in the footsteps of Altair, and this is what we're seeing here in this trailer, right? He finds Masyaf overrun with Templars, essentially, and he's sort of bitten off more than he can chew. He thought he was looking after, trying to find some sort of secrets, personal secrets, but he finds that in Masyaf there's actually something much more dangerous, something much more important, and the Templars are onto it. So this sort of pilgrimage turns into a race against time as he flies to Constantinople to try to find the 5 keys that will open up the Masyaf fortress before the Templars can find it for themselves.
Wow. Obviously, it's a very in-depth and intriguing storyline. And it's going to tie up a lot of the loose ends, right, for fans of the franchise. This is the de facto game that will do that, correct?
Yes, this is really the end of the Ezio trilogy, the whole cycle of becoming an assassin, becoming the master, and now sort of like becoming the mentor, the general, and, eventually passing on the torch. So everything has sort of been leading up to this moment where we've left fans with a lot of different sort of loose ends, a lot of different mysteries, and everything sort of comes together in this last installment of the Ezio trilogy.
I think a lot of people look at Assassin's Creed, they enjoyed the concepts presented in the first game. I think the second game obviously got a lot more right, refined a lot of the gameplay. What type of refinements and enhancements can we expect in Revelations that are going to really take this franchise to where you think it could and should be?
Yeah, essentially, you're right. Like every Assassin's Creed game for us, it needs to be sort of an iterative process. We keep building upon what we've sort of achieved in the game before, listen to what the fans have to say, and sort of build on top of that. What we did here is as Assassin's Creed is becoming this huge game, across the board, we have a lot of systems piling up upon, systems upon systems. We're trying to consolidate all of that into more of a sort of a core experience. So we're adding a lot of systems that really help bridge everything together. The hook blade is a good example. This is sort of an Ottoman improvement to the Assassin's blade. What this does is it essentially, allows the character to, be about 25 to 30% faster in navigation. It adds more flow, and it also bridges navigation and combat. It really makes those two things sort of more linked. Assassin's Creed is all about movement, right? We want to keep that movement in combat as much as possible. Then we have something else. We're adding a whole new crafting system, like bomb crafting. We're adding the ingredients to sort of the economy of the world. Not only will you be looking for money to buy stuff, but you will, you can sort of find these different ingredients that will help you craft bombs. And the idea behind our crafting system isn't, these overly complex formulas that will create these very unique sort of bombs, but rather any combination gives you something cool.
Right.
It's more, which type of bomb defines you as a player more than anything else.
All right, man. It sounds very intriguing. We have an exclusive clip that we're going to take a look at right now. Let's roll that and take a look at Assassin's Creed Revelations.
I can't move.
The final journey commences. It is done.
Put him back into the animal.
Stand by. Resetting firmware.
What the hell?
Animus operating system failure.
Very intriguing there, obviously. Lots teasing a lot of things that we're looking at in Assassin's Creed Revelations. Tell us what we were looking at specifically there.
So, for those of you who saw the Ubisoft conference yesterday, our E3 demo sort of ended in this sort of strange shot on this island. This sort of elaborates a little bit more on what we saw yesterday. Essentially, after the events of Brotherhood, Desmond finds himself in a coma. He's plugged back into the Animus to sort of keep his consciousness from falling through and going into limbo. But since he's so weak and his consciousness is sort of fading, he goes straight down through what we call the White Room. The White Room is sort of the Animus loading program. You see this all the time when you load different memories in Assassin's Creed and all the previous ones. But what most people don't know is that under the White Room, there's sort of this operating system, what we call the Black Room. It's much more powerful than the White Room, but it's also less user-friendly. So he falls directly through the White Room because his consciousness is too weak, falls into the Black Room, and now he finds himself sort of in this low-level Animus limbo. The world around him, as you saw in this teaser, is being sort of shaped by bits of his subconscious. It's all being put together, and he sort of needs to travel through this strange, eerie world populated by elements from his subconscious, from his past, and he needs to navigate through this as he finds ways into achieving entry points into Ezio's memories.
Obviously, it's tying up all these loose ends, and let me just ask you outright, is this a game that needs to be played by people who have experienced the whole series, or are you also trying to make it accessible for newcomers? Is it going to be relevant or understandable at all?
Yes, it is. Actually, what we're doing with this game is not only are we explaining everything, we're recapping everything, but we're setting everything up for the ending of Ezio and what's to come. Mm-hmm. So this is actually a really good game to, we have Altair in the game. So it really recaps everything from Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2 and to Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds really exciting, man. I know Assassin's Creed fans and newcomers can't wait to check it out.